Hey guys, Delrith here, bringing you an interview with Randy Varnell with Gearbox
Can we
Software.
say word now? I don't know if that's still relevant
I don't know.
anymore.
Nowadays, cool. I don't know. We're both. I'm old.
Hello, everybody.
Anyway, so we're going to be talking about Borderlands 3.
I know, right?
And honestly, it's a big project. How long have you guys been working on it?
Oh, well, we started right after, some small team started right after the pre-sequel, so almost 5 years in development.
5 years.
Yes, and a lot of us for at least the last 2 or 3 years, right? There were a bunch of us that did a stint through Battleborn.
Yep.
And then we
won't talk about Battleborn. It was a positive game. It was not meant to be.
We're very proud of the work there, and a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that you saw there in the design and the quality and the things that we played with and we toyed with in that game definitely fed into some of the quality that's going to go right into Borderlands 3.
Yeah,
so
and I've gotten to have a hands-on with it today. So
did you like it?
I have a few questions.
Okay, good.
And I know
good.
a lot of people. We asked our community. We said, "Hey, what do you want to know about Borderlands? What do you want to
Good.
ask them specifically?"
Good.
And the first question that came up just dozens of times was, "What big thing, the one big thing would you say separates this game from the previous games that really innovates Borderlands 3?"
I mean, the thing that's going to be out there everywhere, you've already seen it teased in the trailer, is we're going to other planets.
Got it.
Right, that's the biggest question we leave at the end of Borderlands 2.
Because it's always been on Pandora, for the most part. Yeah,
and
or in space around Pandora.
That's right. In the we went to Elpis in the pre-sequel.
Yeah, you went to Elpis,
so,
yeah.
kind
The
of
moon. It's still around Pandora, though.
But that very last image we leave in fans with Borderlands 2 is Claptrap and the key and the map.
Yep.
And that's a big open question. So
huge map. Yep.
We're going to pay that off in a big way in Borderlands 3. You saw today in the div, you saw the Sanctuary 3.
Yep.
You're going to get a ship. You're going to actually get to pilot that around a little bit and get to those other planets. It's going to be cool.
So the one thing he's talking about is there's a Sanctuary sort of hub, which is a ship that you use to go between planets. Now you got the multiple planets. How many planets are there?
Oh, I can't tell you.
You can't give a specific
there are
number.
Many. We
are we
at
talking
least 2.
More than 2?
Oh yeah.
Less than 1,000.
That's a good range.
That's a good range.
I will confirm.
All right.
I will absolutely confirm it's between 2 and 1,000.
That's a good number. All right, could be anything. So one of the other questions we had brought up is this time coming around with the characters, the multiple new characters, the storylines. Are the characters going to have dynamic differences between each other when they're going through the game, or is it pretty linear but different based on the dialogue?
So we've done a couple of things that I think you really feel that freshens that gameplay up more even between characters. So one of the things just on a narrative side that you really saw us innovate in the pre-sequel and even more in Battleborn is that idea of character dialogue that interacts more with the conversation.
Of
so
course.
you saw some examples in the gameplay today of NPCs talking to you and your player character
and
talks.
you'll all see that in the video.
Right. There's a lot more of that, even more than we did in pre-sequel and Battleborn. There's a lot more interaction between your character and what's going on there. And sometimes those reveal whole other facets of your character or background in the game or other information on the NPC. You're going to see a lot more of that. So that gameplay experience is going to be very different per character.
Got it. So you're going to try to fill all that the nothingness of audio with actual character dialogue and more interactions and things like that.
Yeah. In fact, in our early playtesting at Gearbox, that was one of the most requested things that we had from early playtesters. More. And we thought we did a bunch. So we've been going back and adding more and more.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of that. And I think the other thing that you see that really helps is gameplay related. I think more than ever, the skill trees that we have in this game allow for that deep customizability that's going to make your character feel very
I've noticed
different.
that, yeah. I've noticed that these skill trees are a lot more expanded.
That's right.
You get multiple skills now that you can activate. And each one can be customized with the individual little selections throughout your play.
That's right.
Is there any drastic differences between the characters? Like, can a few of them have more skills? Can a few of them have, like, special skills that do more, like more effects than the other characters? Like, what separates the characters design-wise?
Yeah, in fact, they all have a little quirk different way. I'd say a little quirk.
A quirk.
Medium-sized quirk to a big
moderate
quirk, right?
Quirk, yeah.
So we looked at 2 today, and I'll describe the difference there. We'll talk about the other 2 in the future. Those are some good surprises.
We only got to see
there.
2 today,
That's right. So Amara and Zane. Amara the Siren, Zane the Operative, right? So Amara is pretty straightforward. A Siren, but she has 3 action skills, right?
She does have 3,
So you get something that's very similar to Maya, something that's kind of similar to Lilith with the phase energy, and then something that's all her own, the phase slam where she jumps up in the air
and punches
boom,
down on the ground,
Really cool.
Yeah.
She is really awesome at that up close. She's like, if Maya and Brick were merged.
Yep, she's an energy brick.
Right.
Yeah,
She's pretty cool that way. Zane is awesome because he is our kind of James Bond gadgeteer spy.
Yep.
Like, now the cool thing that's different, you asking about the action skills on him is Amara can sock it in that whatever main siren ability
she wants. If she gets one,
and then she can pick an element to add to that, and then another augment to add to that.
That's pretty
to change
cool.
It up. That's pretty cool.
So you still have the class augments and everything like that.
Yeah, that's right. That you can pull it in, and then the passives too. I mean, you can still do that.
Excellent.
Zane can actually have 2 functioning action skills of his 3 at any time.
Yes, I noticed that.
The way he does that is he gives up his grenade slot.
Yeah, no grenades for him, but he could do things like his drone and his shield, or his clone I saw of himself, where he could teleport to his clone and vice versa.
Digiclone, right? Yeah, that's really cool. Not only will his clone function kind of as a lightweight turret, but it's really cool to go in and distract the enemies. And if you get overwhelmed, it's like, yoink, here I am, and there's the clone, and you switch places. Really sweet gameplay on that. I think that's a good example of some of the crazy things that we're doing that really differentiate the play. When you look at how those skills slot together in every player character, they are different.
They definitely felt different. I got to play between both of them.
Great.
And they could play completely differently. And I really liked the customization that goes down. And you'll see a lot of the customization in the video, the gameplay, of all the different skills we were able to mess around with today. And they were nice enough to give us characters that were further along so we could actually do more stuff.
Yeah.
One of the big things we wanted to ask about, and a lot of people brought up, was the gear. In previous games, it's all been same gear. Like, you go in with the friends, you have people steal stuff, it doesn't scale correctly.
Ninja looters!
Yes, lots of ninja looters. The thing we wanted to know this time around is it going to be instance?
It's either or.
Like, you actually get to pick.
Isn't that the coolest thing? So
that's awesome, actually.
We absolutely will confirm we have instanced loot in Borderlands 3. We know that's a big
awesome
fan request.
That was a huge thing,
right? And you even saw not only that, but what we demoed today is instant loot combined also with level auto balancing.
I saw that.
So if you are level 5, I think we showed today a level 5 or level 7 Amara playing with a level 25 Zane, and it just automatically adjusts the damage output and the health of enemies to look whatever it needs to look like to be an equivalent challenge for you to the enemies on that, regardless of the player level difference. Those two things together is awesome. That means you open a chest, you get
a gun.
There'll be a level 7 gun in there for the level 7 player and a level 25 gun in there for the level 25 player. Everybody's satisfied. If you don't like that, if you want super classic Borderlands and you want big level differences and you want ninja looting, you actually still have that option.
You get the option to still be a jerk if you want to be a jerk.
Right.
I mean, it's all about personal choice,
But
it's really great that you went with that, because a lot of the frustrations people had was, well, if my friend is starting over, I have to start over with them, or I'm just going to kill everything in 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah, we see that a lot.
And so now from what I saw, it scales almost identically, which is fantastic. You see that in MMOs more than anything. And so it's good to actually see that getting implemented in a non-MMO format.
Yeah, Borderlands has always been a big co-op game.
Yeah.
We always want to be sure that you can co-op and all this. By the way, you still can't play single player offline, by the way. That's been a big question of the community. You can absolutely do that. We're not taking that away either. But co-op is such a big, important focus for us. And that was one of the things we heard from Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel. Like, man, we sure would love if you could come some way to deal with, like level difference and all of that. So we did. And we've heard that from the fans, and we spent the time, and we got it. I think we got it right. I think fans are really going to enjoy the ability. It just removes all that friction from co-op play. However you want, whoever you want to play with,
that was always
a
big point. Yeah, a lot of people arguing about that. So a question I have to ask, and it was shouted constantly, was, what are you guys doing as far as microtransactions and monetization going in the game? Are you going to have a lot of little loot boxes or anything like that with Borderlands 3? I think a lot of people are really scared with the recent microtransaction surges. I mean, you've seen even simple things like skill points being sold and like money being sold in single-player games. Do you have anything like that planned?
Well, as we know, Borderlands is a battle royale game.
Totally.
Deeply battle royale.
Totally battle royale. No.
Yeah, totally. And so everything's micro. No,
everything is monetized.
No, the good news of the fans is it's the same old Borderlands. We're not doing anything new or different that you haven't seen before. There'll certainly be some DLCs,
some skins,
we'll
maybe
do later.
Cosmetics.
You'll see some cosmetics you might be able to get, but imagine the things that you've seen in Borderlands 2. We're going to do the same thing. We're not going to add monetized.
You're not going to sell gold keys or anything like that?
Nope, not this time.
So you heard it. They're not monetizing everything about the game, which we were worried about, and I'm really glad to hear.
I think the best way to put it is we really want to preserve that experience that we all have with Borderlands 2. That's what the fans fell in love with. That's what we want to build. That's what we want to deliver to you guys.
Yeah, we wanted to see an iteration of Borderlands 2, and I think people were just really afraid of having everything nickel and dime nowadays. And
yeah,
it's good to hear that you're not going to do that. And
well, thank you.
We'll hold you to that.
Please do.
Expect the community freaking out otherwise.
Please do.
One of the other things that brought up is how big is this compared to the original game? How much more multiplicatively would you say time-wise it's going to take for people to go through everything?
Use a very specific term. It's bigger-er.
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 You coined it. It's bigger-er. All right, so Borderlands 3 is bigger-er than Borderlands 2 by a significant margin.
We aren't talking the specific numbers on that.
Yeah.
I'd hate to even venture because we're still putting the final finishing touches on the game, and some of that can change the minute. It's going to be bigger in every way. I mean, we've already dropped the trailer with billions of guns instead of bajillions.
Bajillions, you got billions of guns.
There are actually a lot more guns in this one than the last one, so that's true. Mm-hmm. Every bit of content that we could increase is increased, so it's big. It's bigger in every way. Bigger.
All right. I can genuinely say that you have upped the ante from the previous game. I think a lot of people were worried with the pre-sequel if it was going to live it up to it or surpass it, because it had started to get a little, okay, what are they going to do to innovate it? And from what I've seen, they've changed enough that it feels new and fresh. And honestly, seeing it on like 2K and 4K resolutions and stuff is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see the art style evolve, and I look forward, honestly, to seeing more Borderlands 3 in the future. And thank you for having us out.